It's an industry with a lot of different, I think, a lot of different areas that need to be explained. And not in that lovely fold down sheet that comes down off of toilet paper that they send with the card when you finally sign up, and it gives you all these neat things in such small writing that you have to use a microscope to see the print of how much they're going to charge you. I think there's a lot of education that needs to be done, that people need to understand
Absolutely.
what's going on.
Well, Candace and I, we had a single use, $149, and we were charged almost $50 for that $149. So that's just absolutely unreal as far as the pricing and the fees go. That's unheard of. I mean, I can't believe we paid that much.
Well, and there's a lot of things that go on, and I agree with you, Bill. The education part, it doesn't occur in my side of the business. People don't go at that part. You know, for me, I think how and why I do it the way I did is that I'm really in your seats. I've been a small business owner most of my life, and my family's been small business owners, and so I like to look at it from the side and perspective that this is just another one of our bottom line costs that we need to manage, and that's how I take my job is how do I walk in the door and help somebody, and then how do I help make their life easier, because processing a credit card is just not processing a credit card like it was 15 years ago. Technology's changed, and the way that we can use the tools that are being provided to help minimize administration work, especially when you're a single or two-person business that's small and growing. We don't have a lot of extra time to waste doing all the extra work.
No, that's very true. You've got time, you've got to build your business, and that's an expertise that is actually should be left up to somebody who knows what's going on. And I think that's, well, like I said, one of the major problems. I know back a few years ago, I had a machine and all that stuff, and I never paid any attention to any of that, except my bottom line kept going down, down, down. And I kept trying to figure out what was the overall expenses, what was going on. And then the nice gentleman sat down and says, well, you're leasing the machine, it's X number of dollars, and there's discount, and there's yak, yak, and yak, yak. If it would have been clear the day that I started on that, he would have said that, he would have had his machine and his briefcase out in the parking lot, because I wouldn't have talked to him. I mean, I would have been done. I would have tried to figure out something else.
So let's go through a couple of those myths and let's just bust those right now.
Okay, let's do it.
So number one, you should, if you're signing up for a credit card service, you should never have an annual fee. You should really, unless you're a really large organization, like where you're setting up multiple point of sale terminals, unless you're doing something like that, you shouldn't really have a setup fee. Setup fee is just money being earned by the agent to come in and hook up your equipment. The equipment's not that difficult. Programming a point of sale system does take time, but that's up to you on whether you're charging somebody for that or not. I just don't do it. So, but then, let's talk about a contract. It's always, the application is always a 3-year agreement. The only way they really turn it into a contract is when they put a cancellation fee into it. So for me, I don't add a cancellation fee. I figured that I earn your business by doing my job. And if you're not happy with me helping you, you should have the right to go somewhere else and get the service that you're looking for. So you should never have to sign an application. You shouldn't have to pay an application fee. You shouldn't have an annual fee. And you shouldn't be into a cancellation fee. Okay, but those are very common things inside of our industry. There are really 3 different types of merchant accounts today. 2 of them are part of the FDIC banking world, and we'll discuss those in a second. And then the other side is the corporations, private corporations, which are now PayPal, Stripe, and Square.
Okay.
And so with PayPal, Stripe, and Square, they utilize, and they're good for certain things. One of the things that is great is that if you're trying to get on and do a simple transaction on PayPal, whether you're doing it through eBay and things like that, it works wonderfully. However, they charge you 3% for that transaction and 30 cents for the transaction fee as well. What all 3 of those companies don't do is they don't distinguish the difference between debit cards and credit cards. And this is where PayPal, Stripe, and Square make their money. Because as we already know, on a $100 transaction, if you usually the way I do it to simplify math for people is if you just look at a debit card at 0.18 of 1% for your wholesale rate, and then you add a discount rate fee of 0.20, which is me, and you put that together, you end up at 0.38 or less than a 0.5%, where Square charges 2.75%, Stripe charges 2.9%, and PayPal charges 3%. And that's if you're swiping the card.
Right.
When you key in the card, they bump it up even further.
Wow.
Right. So that's kind of how that side works. Now, it's great if you're doing less than a couple grand a month because they're not charging you the couple of fixed fees that we have in our side of the industry when we're on the FDIC side. On the federally regulated side with First Data, we have a statement fee. Typically, that statement fee costs us $8. Most everybody in the world charges $10 for that statement fee. Okay, and that's a very typical across the board. But no matter what, First Data charges us, and we pass the cost along. Second cost is what's called PCI compliance, which is the regulatory agency that makes sure that all credit cards are processing securely through the networks so that all the data is secure. And again, we get charged $10 a month. It's not money that we charge or collect. It just goes. So there's a $20 a month on average monthly fee. No matter what, everyone with a regular merchant account is going to have that fee. Now, when you compare that with our discount rate at, say, 0.20 and 8 cents a transaction versus, say, Square at 2.75% flat, whether it's debit or credit, at about $2,500 to $3,000 a month, we break even because of our monthly fees. So businesses that are doing less than $3 grand a month and just starting, Square is a wonderful tool because it doesn't cost you anything. Mm-hmm. Your processing fees are higher, but if you're doing less than a couple grand, then you don't have a fixed monthly cost. And I recommend people to that all the time. If you're doing over $3 grand a month, then that's where I say, let's sit down and talk because now you're starting to give money away, right? Mm-hmm. Because now at that 275 on debit cards, and especially, a lot of food trucks or restaurants get into that, and where it should be costing you pennies, it's costing you dollars. Because you figure 2.75% every $100, that's $2.75
yeah.
instead of 35 cents.
Big difference. Big difference. Big difference in the bottom line and the structure of what you're doing. Very true. Candace, I noticed that you're taking notes here, and I'm impressed.
I always take notes, Bill.
Oh, okay.
I'm a lifetime learner. Unlike you.
I just thought you were putting a grocery
back in like 1944.
45. I moved it up a year.
Oh, 45.
Yeah, there was more excitement.
You got
45.
more cobwebs on you.
Well, thanks so much, Candace. We're
starting to go to the car wash.
We're running out of time, and we have to explain now that Candace always gets the last word on all the shows except for the following show, which would be today. So I just thought I'd surprise you. And
Bill acts like it's a real gift, but the truth is he always gets the last word because he's the one that always signs off. So this is always funny to me. I'm on to you.
When you point
I'm
that
on
out.
to you.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I'm on to you.
I'm okay. After 84 shows, you'd think she'd catch on, and she did. That's
85.
great. 85.
And that's where the magic happens.
Wow,
right.
Isn't that the truth? Well,
and the heavens parted. Oh.
We'll let you have the last word. It's second to the last word.
Go ahead, Chris.
Didn't that feel good the way she just shoved it right off?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
I have no words.
You know what?
I'm in awe.
Paul, I want to thank you because what people don't see, we're fortunate in the studio to see the passion and ultimately really the love that you have for what you do and how you do it.
And for the people
and
that you
absolutely. And so I want to, I want to acknowledge you for having a heart for our small business. We love our small business owners. And it's wonderful to see other people that are with like-minded values, in our community that are helping to empower them, inspire them, and to help them change so that their profits can go, because 99% of the time they go back into the business, just in different ways. So thank you for being that gift to our community.
No, thank you. Thanks for having me. I love small business. I think that, small business owners and entrepreneurs, we're fighting every day in a very tough world. Competitive world against the global conglomerates. And us as small business owners sticking together today and supporting each other is what helps our small business world keep growing. And that's the part that I really enjoy.
So a business owner wants to get a hold of you. They want to sit down and make an appointment. How do they do that?
Either by phone number or they can either reach me by phone or they can reach me by email. My direct cell number is 206-200-4054. or you can reach out to me at Paul. My last name is Liddane, L-I-D as in dog, D as in dog, A-N-E. That's all one word, at Complete Merchant Services with an S.com.
Well, we'll be very excited to have you on the show again in the future. And maybe you can come back and talk to us again about more of the types of transactions and what to look for when on the user side or on the business side of how to use our credit cards really responsibly.